My name is Sarah, and this is my story. The world as I knew it was gone. The streets were filled with the walking dead, and the living were no better. The zombie apocalypse had taken over, and chaos reigned supreme. It was every person for themselves, and I had learned that the hard way. I used to live in a small town, called Oakwood. It was a quaint little place, where everyone knew each other, and life was simple. But when the outbreak happened, everything changed. I remember the day it all started like it was yesterday. I was walking to the local grocery store to pick up some supplies, when I saw my first zombie. It was a woman, or at least it used to be. Its skin was pale and decaying, its eyes were lifeless, and its mouth was dripping with blood. I froze in fear, not knowing what to do. But before I could even think, it lunged at me. I ran as fast as I could, not looking back until I was safe inside the store. From then on, my life was a constant battle for survival. I learned how to defend myself, how to scavenge for supplies, and how to outsmart both the zombies and the living. The town of Oakwood became a war zone. Buildings were destroyed, cars were overturned, and the streets were littered with debris. The once peaceful community had turned into a nightmare. And I was caught in the middle of it all. But even in the midst of all the chaos, I refused to give up hope. I knew that there had to be other survivors out there, and I was determined to find them. So, I spent my days exploring the town, looking for any signs of life. One day, I stumbled upon a group of survivors holed up in an abandoned warehouse. They were a ragtag bunch, but they welcomed me with open arms. We banded together, fighting off zombies and fending off other hostile survivors. For a while, we managed to hold our ground. But one night, we were attacked by a large group of zombies. We fought with everything we had, but in the end, we were outnumbered. The warehouse was overrun, and we were forced to flee. I ran as fast as I could, not knowing where I was going. My heart was pounding, and my lungs were burning. But I refused to give up. I had come too far to let the zombies take me down. As I ran, I could hear the sounds of destruction behind me. The warehouse was being torn apart, and I knew that there was no going back. I had to keep moving forward. I eventually stumbled upon a small group of survivors who had managed to secure a small fortress in the middle of the town. They were wary of me at first, but after hearing my story, they welcomed me into their community. We worked together to fortify the fortress, making it as secure as possible. We also sent out scouting parties to gather supplies and look for other survivors. It wasn't easy, but we were determined to survive. But then, one day, disaster struck. A large group of zombies broke through our defenses, overwhelming us with their sheer numbers. We fought as best as we could, but it was no use. The fortress was breached, and chaos ensued. I knew that I had to get out of there, or I would end up like the others. So, I ran. I ran as fast as I could, dodging zombies and debris as I made my way out of the town. As I ran, I couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness. This was the town I had grown up in, the town where I had lived my whole life. And now, it was nothing but a pile of rubble and destruction. But I couldn't dwell on that. I had to keep moving if I wanted to survive. And so, I ran until I couldn't run anymore. I eventually found a new group of survivors, and together, we continued to fight for our lives in this new, chaotic world. The zombie apocalypse may have destroyed my town, but it couldn't destroy my spirit. I will continue to survive, no matter what challenges may come my way. This is my story, and I will make sure it has a happy ending. Yay, the end. Oh right, yeah, I have to do this stuff now. Like, comment and subscribe. And please watch my other videos and comment ideas on stories.